Yeah, I'm gonna need you to do better, bro. Just gonna need you to do it because you over here, you look like you got the beef noodles.
I got the what? Well, the beef noodles. That's funny.
Yeah, you gonna have to because the beef noodles calling for you.
This is
All
11,
right,
11, by the way. Episode 11. Whatever.
y'all already know what time it is.
Look.
Y'all know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Every game, every era, every fan. You're listening to Squad Sportcast. Four brothers, one like, all sports. Like as always, we would like to thank you all for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. Help make our latest episode a great success. Um, we just gonna get into it. Last episode's Crash King belongs to Mr. Jordan on his take on the NBA All Stars. We go try and make it back to back. Don't worry, your time is coming. Your shine
I,
is here, my boy.
yeah, I got some things to say about it, but continue.
You have your 30 seconds of fame. It's right here. Your 30 seconds of fame. All you, my brother. All you.
Um, yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that All-Star game. I mean, I'm glad to be Crash King again. Um, yeah, I might get this back to back because I don't know how we're gonna go through this, but yeah, we need to talk NBA. We need to talk.
You don't have to worry about that, sir. As your moderator, you know I got you on deck. Hey, shout out to my kids. You know, they got my Father's Day mug out here. So shout out to all five of them. Michael,
Yeah,
Nick Jr., Karen, Jacob, and Young Bella. Thank y'all so very much for this mug because I'm
forgot
gonna use
about
it
the other
tonight.
seven.
Listen. We don't know them yet. We don't know them yet. Ain't nobody came forth for no more, so we good for right now. But like I said, let's go ahead and get into it. Breaking news out of Miami: Tyreek Hill is gone. He has been released from the Genjutsu that is formerly known as, what is that quarterback name? Golly,
Tua Tagovailoa.
you mean to a liability? That's what his name.
Yes.
So he's been released from the Genjutsu that is to a liability out here. Um, of course, when we talk about Tyreek, we got to put respect on that man's game because when you talk about game breaking speed, there's nothing more. There's not a more dangerous weapon in the NFL. From his early days with the Chiefs to now, well, to then becoming the centerpiece of the Dolphins and now becoming an unrestricted free agent. Hill has consistently changed defensive game plans the moment you know he's suiting up and stepping on that field. So here's where it kind of gets interesting, and here's where I leave the fellas to decide. Is Tyreek Hill the most explosive wide receiver of this era, or is he redefining what the position looked like? Now, before you get there, we also need to evaluate his overall legacy. When we talk about one of the greats, clearly nowhere near when we talk about the top three, nowhere near. But where do you think, like, as far as his leadership, his team impact, and of course, his off the field antics impact him as far as his career? So, the overall question, this is where we sum it all up. What do you think when you think of Tyreek Hill today? What is the first thing that comes to mind and why?
I'll lead off. It's fine. I think Cheetah, right? That's his nickname. Of course, goes with the level of speed that he has. His impact on the game is fantastic. 8-time Pro Bowler. One of the most explosive talents that the game has seen, probably ever. He helped to redefine the speeds position. He's almost like a slot receiver that plays out on the perimeter there because his speed was such an issue. Um, the interesting thing is that I don't think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer because of Robert Kraft's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Bill Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terrell Owens wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Then I don't think that with the off-field antics and lack of leadership that Tyreek Hill had, that he can be a first ballot Hall of Famer. What I will say is that his 8 Pro Bowls is highly, highly impressive. He did a lot for the position. He did a lot with the position. Um, I think that he's probably one of the most dynamic players that has ever played. I think that he benefited from coming to Kansas City, especially um, playing with Mahomes and him being able to overshoot the deep ball. Um, I never thought of Tyreek Hill as a route runner. He has great hands. He has great speed. I never really thought of him as a route runner or as a technician. To me, I think he reminds me of Deshaun Jackson, just with a better quarterback situation. Um, and that's not just because of speed to speed comparison, but if you kind of look at how their usage was, I think that's a pretty apt comparison. Um, there's been a lot of speed merchants in the NFL, but where Tyreek Hill made his living was that his hands are probably top 10 hands that we can say in the league. And he wasn't scared to go across the middle. He played very smart with his body. The interesting thing is that the injury that he had, he was still playing smart with his body. It was just an awkward tackle that had him actually end up being injured. I wonder how healthy he is right now. I'm concerned that them releasing him is more of a sign of uh, his health than it is the ineptitude of the franchise. Do I think that the Dolphins are inept right now? Absolutely. I don't think that they know what they're doing in any capacity. But I also think that Tyreek Hill is definitely injured. Um, so I'm curious to see what he's going to do moving forward. A few years ago, that would have been a career-ending injury. Nowadays, with all the advances in technology, he may still be all right, but I don't know that he'll still have the same level of speed. I kind of need to see it in order to be excited about it. It bothers me because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. The league that Nick stole my belt from. So
Oh, you mean this belt right here?
I
Oh,
need
you mean
to,
this belt right here?
yeah, my stolen belt that's going to be back up in my house on my mantle this coming season. But so that I think that there's a lot of opportunity with Tyreek Hill. Um, but if you ask me, I think he's going to take 3, maybe 4 ballots to be a Hall of Famer, but he will be a Hall of Famer. So that's kind of my take there on Tyreek Hill. I'll pass it to you, Jordan.
All right, so we're looking at Tyreek Hill, and obviously one of the fastest receivers out there, 5'10" and under. If you're watching the junior high and high school sports, you'll see there's a kid out there by the name of Blaze Ingram out in Florida. He has a twitch of speed that's just as fast as Tyreek Hill. He's only like 5'5", and I think he's going to be the next Tyreek Hill. The reason I say that is because Tyreek Hill has elite speed, under 4.3 40. And with the Dolphins, he just averaged under, let's just say, between 12 to 1,300 yards per his 4 years there, and about 7 touchdowns per year. That's incredible considering how he was doing great in spite of Tua's mediocrity in whatever quarterback was there in Miami. As far as a Hall of Famer, I think even with the antics, he's still a first ballot because, bless you, you can't teach speed like he has. I remember there was a play right before halftime, and they were in Dallas. I think it was it Alex Smith? No, it was Mahomes. Mahomes threw a ball to Tyreek Hill. He was at the 40-yard line, and he found his way to the end zone. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't clear. He had to navigate his way through. But the thing is, he's the fastest person on the field. So he was able to navigate his way through that. That, like I said, that's not something that you could teach. That's just something that you find out. If you're looking for anybody that could be a comparison to him, I hope to God he gets healthy. Tank Dell out of Houston, He's been injured. He's had multiple injuries on his legs, so it's going to take some time for him to recover and even get anything resembling on Tyreek Hill speed. But that's the only person I could compare Tyreek Hill to. He's faster, he's stronger. I know you compared him to Deshaun Jackson, but I think he's stronger than Deshaun Jackson and can catch better than Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is a pretty much a fly route speedster. He'll beat your corner, he'll beat your safety, and he can just run you out the building. But Tyreek Hill can twitch, can do everything at a moment's notice. And on those cross routes, I mean, unless you got like a linebacker, like let's say Luke Kuechly or Brian Urlacher coming your way, who's gonna stop him? You gotta catch him first. So yeah, he's in my opinion gotten first ballot Hall of Famer status. I think he has about 12,000 yards overall receiving. I think he'll go back to Kansas City to start or to go back to where it all began. He'll definitely have a role there because Patrick Mahomes needs a receiver that's going to give him that speed, that record breaking speed. It might not be as fast as he was about maybe 7, 8 years ago, but he's still fast enough to where he can beat your man's. So yeah, he's in the best position possible. He's recovered from his injury. He's going to be healthy when he goes to wherever he goes. Like I said, I believe it's going to be Kansas City. That's the only thing that makes sense. And I look forward to his return.
Well,
1 second, Nick. I think that I think Kansas City makes sense, but I think there's a couple of other teams that also make sense. I think that the Patriots would make a lot of sense for Tyreek Hill, specifically with the type of team that they're running. I think the Denver Broncos would make a lot of sense for Tyreek Hill, especially as a counterpart to Cortland Sutton. With the Patriots, where it comes to mind is that Stephon Diggs has lost multiple steps and is nowhere near the dominant receiver that he was in Buffalo. Um, the alternative option is throwing in Mac Hollins. No, you go and out and you'll get a Tyreek Hill. Plus the level of cap space that the Patriots have makes them an ideal candidate there. I think he could probably even go to the Raiders, right? And that's probably a controversial take there. But the reason
Let's not let him go there.
well, it's the place where career is going to die, right? And his career at this point is on the last vestiges of it. He's still, don't get me dynamic. I'm not saying he's not, but I do think that with the Fernando Mendoza, Brock Bowers, and Ashawn Genty, the flashlights of Las Vegas. I mean, he hopefully he won't pull a Henry Ruggs. Unfortunately, right? Because you put Tyreek Hill in Las Vegas, that's all bad for everybody. I'm not going to lie to you, which is why I think New England makes a lot of sense there because there's nothing to do in New England. And other than Aaron Hernandez, you haven't really heard anything negative about people going to New England. Versus if he goes to a team like if he goes to a team like Philly, that wouldn't be good for him. One, Philly wouldn't fit him as far as the way that their team is set up, and then two, they don't need him, right? And also that environment would not be great for him. He goes to a team like Chicago. One, they don't need him. Two, that wouldn't be a good environment for him, right? He goes to a team like Dallas, wouldn't fit him. Also, wouldn't be a good environment for him. I think that if the league is doing best, if we can keep Tyreek Hill away from a major city, don't put this man out there in a place that he's going to be a menace to society like he was for different capacities in Miami, in college, in Kansas City, et cetera. He's been well beating on women and kids and just all types of people. He's not necessarily has a reputation for being the best guy. What I will say though is just from a pure football perspective, seeing him with the Chargers would be amazing. Seeing him with the Patriots would be awesome. I think if you put him with a top 10 level quarterback, I think he can perform wonders in that type of setup there, especially if he doesn't have to be the only alpha receiver in the room. I like the Patriots again, but he'd be the only alpha receiver there. But a team like the Broncos, right? Or even if he went to the Bills, can you imagine if he went to the Bills? Josh Allen might actually get over his allergic reaction to winning in conference championship games. So I don't know. Just a thought there, but I do think there's more options in Kansas City than we think.
I think him and Xavier Worthy as the 1-2 could cause some nightmarish damage in the AFC West because who are you going to cover? Or who's going to be able to cover them? I mean, PS2 might be able to cover in either one of them, but you got to leave the other one open. I also think that the jury's still out on that, and they haven't had any updates on the case. It's been almost like over a year, and I think based off of the places that you mentioned, that he wouldn't fit in. He is personally because the quarterback profile needs to be one that fits him, and one with an arm for a cannon. And as you know, Patrick Mahomes has probably the best arm for a cannon in the league. I know Josh Allen might have a say in that debate, but no, it's Patrick Mahomes. It not just in distance, but I would say in accuracy and finesse. Because albeit last year was just a bad disaster for Mahomes, he was better than the previous years. Like he has a knack for finding Tyreek Hill. Wherever he is, he's gonna throw it to him. It's gonna be open. So and that's why I continue to bring down that point where the Chiefs are the only thing that makes sense. Let him retire as a Chief, play for like 2 or 3 more years, preserve his body so way he doesn't just bury himself into the dirt and try and win another Super Bowl.
So here's the thing that I have, and I pulled up essentially what I would consider. If you look at it, I could say it's like a considered top 5 landing spots for Tyreek Hill. Not in any order, but one of them when I really look into, I really don't agree with it. And the pick I don't agree with is Kansas City. Here's the reason why. When Hill first was introduced, when Hill got into the league, and you had Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce, they were unstoppable. But in recent years, Travis Kelce has been unrecognizable. I understand the addition of Woods. Like I is it Woods? No, not Woods. I'm
You
thinking of
talking
the
about
wrong dude.
Worthy?
Worthy, yes, Xavier Worthy. Right, Xavier. Wrong last name. But again, we're looking at defending Tyreek Hill and Xavier Worthy, which might help. But again, when you're looking at third down, Patrick, I don't think Patrick's going to get enough time because Tyreek is going to get locked down a lot. And Worthy, I don't know. It could be AJ Brown. It could be an AJ Brown, Devontae Smith type of connection. It could be, but it helps when you have that security blanket in Travis Kelce, so that if you have short yardage checkdowns, I don't have to chuck the ball out. Because again, keep in mind, Worthy is good, but again, is he coming across the middle to kind of help out? I don't think so. Um, Another team that I'm looking at, of course, the Raiders, because if we're talking about Mendoza getting picked number 1, which may actually be a thing, you're looking at Mendoza, Hill, Trey Tucker, Ashton Jetty, and Brock Bowers,
They'd be foolish
potentially.
not to pick him number 1.
Like, if we're looking at that, that is a dream location. You got a new head coach, you got a new quarterback, you can help develop. Like, as experienced as Tyreek Hill is, he's seen a lot of coverages. He knows how to pick apart certain zones, certain man coverages, certain blitzes. He could be able to give that insight to that young quarterback, kind of like a T.O. McNabb thing. So it could be beneficial to it. Plus, keep in mind, the Raiders don't have a lot of big names on offense that they're paying a whole lot of money to. So they can afford to pick up Tyreek Hill contract. Another one that I had out there, I know a lot of people are saying the Titans. I'll look into the Titans in a second. But
Their
when you
cap
think
space
about
is immaculate.
I get the cap spaces, but looking into it, Tyreek Hill is going to want to go to a contender. He's unrestricted. Keep that in mind. He's unrestricted. So you're going to want somebody who has the defense necessary to help them out. Someone else I was looking at, the Packers, because look at it like this: you have Jordan Love. Essentially, Tyreek Hill would be Christian Watson would be number one because he's young, he's strong, and physical. Tyreek Hill can just open a lot of things up.
It will be the 3 because you still have Romeo Dobbs.
You starting, brother. I want you to look
Yes.
in that camera and tell me you're going to start Romeo Dobbs over Tyreek Hill.
You have Watson, Dobbs, and Hill. You still have Tucker Craft. You still have Josh Jacobs. That's a. I'm not saying 5 out, but still, I'm looking at age in this case over skill. Just for that purpose, since you said the Packers, because Dobbs was a beast.
Okay,
You still have Reed. What's that dude's name? Reed as a backup receiver. Yeah, Jaden Reed. You that's pretty much a dream section for Jordan Love because he's gonna have his playground to throw to anybody who he wants to. If you put Tyreek Hill in the mix, I mean, who are you going to really cover?
We're not talking about putting a Larry Fitzgerald out there who could be strong and, contest for balls. You're talking about Tyreek Hill, brother. Like, and then here's the other thing. If you're putting Reed at the number 2, are you putting Tyreek Hill in the slot? Because that's the only thing that if you were saying Tyreek Hill at the 3, that's the only thing that makes sense to me at this
point. I said Dobbs as number 2 and Tyreek Hill as number 3. That's what I was saying.
But it's a difference between putting Tyreek Hill as a number 3 receiver and putting Tyreek Hill in the slot. There's a difference because then you're opening up a different level of offensive play calling. Keep in mind, they just lost their offensive coordinator, or their quarterback coach. They just lost their quarterback coach. So I don't know who's going to be in there to replace it. So that's why I said I don't know about putting him number 3 unless you're putting him in the slot. And if you're putting him in the slot, then you're talking about opening up a new dynamic for Jordan Reed to have to understand and know that, hey, we're going to move back. Basically, we're going to run this like 2015 Arizona Cardinals, to which D-Hop is going to be our X receiver, and Tyreek Hill is going to be our slot receiver. And if third down comes, Tyreek needs to know to be ready. I don't know if they're going to be competent enough to do something like that, especially with the way that they run in the North.
I mean, D-Hop and Tyreek Hill are different receivers, though. D-Hop is a possession receiver where you throw to him and he's going to catch the ball like at the top of the key. But Tyreek Hill, you throw to him on a small little dig or like a cross route, he's going to find his way to get open. The receivers can block for him. That's why I say the Packers are now, because he can be a valuable team as well, and they'll have enough money to throw at him for 1 or 2 years since the receiver core is still young. But I understand what you're saying, but I think it could be a viable option.
Man got to be in the slot. That's all I'm saying. The man has to play in the slot. Another one, the Ravens. Because while you have Zay Flowers, who is maturing and getting older, and he's learning how to be open in certain plays and make certain plays, I think he'll be in there, helps open it up a little more, because you can't sell on Derrick Henry all the time. You now give Lamar Jackson a legit RPO at this point in time, because, like I say, you can't blitz all the time. It gives Lamar Jackson this availability to have a receiver that's going to be downfield and say, hey, look, command. Ooh, let me get there Let me get there in a second. But yeah, it opens the field offensively wise for the Ravens, who might need it, because I'm not knocking Zay Flowers at all. Trust me when I say this. I'm not knocking Zay Flowers. I am knocking their number 2 wide receiver. Because again, he's not Rashad Bateman. He's not trustworthy. Shout out to Mark Wayne. You know who you are. But Rashad Bateman is not reliable enough for me. So Hill would definitely help to open that playbook out, because when Flowers is locked up and Henry's locked up and you got a spy on Lamar, you don't have anybody for Tyreek Hill. Not one-on-one. Definitely not. And then they got to face Mike Stillers twice a year, and Mike Stillers is going to sweep them. and get the 10 wins, not 11, get the 10 wins, so that way he's
11.
going to get shape.
11.
But
11.
I'm gonna move to the Commanders real quick for a second because let's discuss this. Commanders will not work for the Commanders will not work for Tyreek Hill. Here's the reason why. And Mike, I see that face. Here's the reason why. The Commanders wide receiver core group wise is old. Like, who is going to be essentially like I see who you're talking about. I see what you're talking about. You have Jay Nails, Tyreek Hill, Scary Terry. Let's keep him in there for right now. I don't think he stays throughout the offseason. But Debo Samuels, you have their running back, the new guy. I don't remember his name. Jacorian something.
Yeah, Bill Krosky Merritt.
Yeah, that guy. So, and then sometime later on in the year, maybe Zach Ertz comes back, maybe not. If not, I think their young tight end is actually pretty good.
They got the
So
cap space, definitely. They could throw money at him.
they have it, but how would you? I don't trust that team. I don't trust it. Like, it could work. It could work. Let me be very fair. It could work. But there's two things you got to understand. Number one, he's playing against the East. He got to play Philly twice. I don't think you want that smoke. Then you have to play the Giants twice and the Cowboys twice. Cowboys cornerbacks are no scrubs at all. They always play Washington very hard. Like, I haven't seen Washington destroy a Cowboys team in a month of summers. So I don't trust that. I don't trust the Commanders unless something like if it could happen. Could they have the space to do it? It could happen. The
They got the
last
space, but the problem is that they're old, and they wouldn't be solving anything by getting an older receiver. I mean, I know Tyreek Hill is great, but they're just repeating the whole thing they did last year. You saw where that led them to a dismal season. So, I mean, while it would be okay, I mean, they would get some skill. They wouldn't be healing their ills, if you will. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but nonetheless they're not going to do well if they get Tyreek Hill because they're going to have a problem. Like, God forbid something happens where one of their older players gets injured. They're going to throw one of the rookies out there that don't have the experience, and they're just going to have the same problems over and over and over again. They need to get younger. They have the money to throw at people, but they need to start investing in it.
like I said, the last team I have is the team that Mike has been shouting out for the last few minutes, the Jags. And I think the Jags will be a perfect fit because you're looking at the Prince. You're looking at ETN, who now has available holes to run in. Because the same thing, like I said, with the Ravens, you can't sell on the run too much now anymore. Like Trevor Lawrence now has, again, you have the split field between Hill and BTJ. You're not going to be able to like shut down one side because the other side is going to go off. You got Strange as tight end. Um, so you got a lot going on to where it makes sense. I do believe they re-signed ETN though. I do believe it. Maybe
ETN's
at
going to
like a
ask for too
1 year
much
approve it
money.
deal. ETN maybe at a 1 year approve it deal, but I do believe they re-signed him. But
He's
like I
going to
said,
ask for too much money to do that.
to do what? Be
So
trash?
no, he's gonna have ask for too much money, and I forgot their backup running back.
Brother,
They like him a little bit more than ETN. ETN's proving year was last year, and he did well. But the thing is, will they have the budget to do it?
again, that's why I said they either franchise tag him or they give him a 1 year approve it deal. Because I feel like if you get it 1 year, do it again, and then we could extend you for 3 or 4 more years, and then call your season a wrap at this point. Because like, ETN hasn't really measured up to what we really thought it was. Lawrence is getting there. Let's be fair. Lawrence is getting there, but he hasn't really plateaued. It's just like Herbert. Herbert's like under here, and he ain't getting nowhere near because his playoff record is just it's worse than Josh Allen's, and we all know Mike's disdain for Josh Allen in the playoffs. So
It's the coach, but I'm
that's all I listen. We can say who it is. All I know is all those
telling
problems
y'all
are
for
now out the
years that it's
door.
that damn coach from. I don't trust the Harbaugh coach, but I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm
Here's
gonna
the
leave that
thing you
alone.
got to understand: Harbaugh is still the coach of the Chargers. The Ravens complained it was the head coach. They got rid of the head coach. So if the Ravens can't get it done this year, I need y'all to understand we looking at that elite status from Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, same thing. Josh Allen, they got rid of their head coach. If Josh Allen can't get it done, we looking at his elite status. So that's all I'm saying. We are not talking about those Niners right now because all they do is get injured. The reason why I didn't, and also Tyreek Hill has too many kids. The state of California would destroy his check. Like, no, that man don't know what pulling out is. Man can't pull out a parking garage. The man can't pull out an oven. He can't pull out a refrigerator. He can't. No. The man, no. You go send him to California. That man got like 30 kids. You talk about me having a lot of kids. That man got like 5 times the amount of kids that I have. And that's the crazy part. But again, like I said, we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna move on because we're talking a lot about Tyreek Hill. Let's figure out where you guys put him all time. Well, not all time list when he came out. So keep in mind, Tyreek Hill was drafted in 2015. So I have a list of names of some very good very good wide receivers back then. And yes, this segment is the King of the Hill edition, Tyreek Hill. So who would you rather have? Would you rather have Tyreek Hill or Mike Evans?
I'm gonna say Mike Evans, and not even like I don't think it's close. If you like, Mike Evans has had a better career than Tyreek Hill. Mike Evans tied Jerry Rice's record. Mike Evans is bigger. He's more of a possession receiver, but he's also a much better route runner. Their hands are about even. Tyreek Hill is more of a game changer. I will give you that. Absolutely. But if you ask me who I'd rather have, I'd immediately rather have Mike Evans and Mike Evans' career over Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, only thing that he has over him is the ring, and Mike Evans has a ring. So I would go Mike Evans over Tyreek Hill. And
You sure about
I
that?
got Mike Evans as in this generation of receivers, Mike Evans is the top 3 receiver. And the funny part is I'm not a Mike Evans fan. Respect his game, but I've never had him in fantasy, so I haven't had a chance to just really pay attention to him.
That's because of
But
me.
what I will tell you is that I would rather have Mike Evans than Tyreek Hill. And Mike Evans is a pillar in the community and has never had a single problem. I don't have to worry about him getting suspended halfway through the year for throwing a TV off the roof or something crazy. I don't know. You don't have to worry about that with Mike Evans.
Well, I have to go against the grain, and I'm a big fan of puns. Since it's King of the Hill, I gotta go with Tyreek Hill. Not only because his name is Hill, but his speed is world class, better than Evans. I know Evans is gonna get you with the consistency and the possessions and the catches and the yards, but the yards after carry, Tyreek Hill destroys him in that, and the playmaking ability. Tyreek Hill can make something out of nothing. Like it could be a broken play where he has to get yardage. He'll find a way to get you 20 yards off of like a 2 yard pass. And as great and phenomenal as Evans is, I just don't think he'll have um, that specific ability to do that. Like he's very consistent. You want somebody that'll get you 1,000 yards per year and get you about 10 or 11 touchdowns. You need a receiver to do that. Yeah, Evans will do that every single time. But if you need somebody that like I said, has that playmaking ability, that I know it could go any way, But if you need somebody to make a play for you, you go for Tyreek Hill. Wow.
So here's the thing I want you to consider before I make y'all choose between the two. Even though Mike Evans played one more year, because he got drafted in 2014 and played with Vincent Jackson and played with Deshaun Jackson. Keep that in mind. And played with Chris Godwin. But like I said, I'm gonna let you be great. Here's the thing you gotta understand. He's had more yards per reception. He currently has more receiving yards. And we can take his first year out because his first year, I don't think he had 1,000 yards, which means he still beats Tyreek's 11K. He has more receiving touchdowns. He has more yards per carry on a rush. The only thing that Tyreek has better of is reception yards per game. And that's 78 versus 74. So again, you were saying Tyreek Hill is better at what exactly? Oh, keep in mind.
Yeah, that's about it.
Speed. Like I still think skill. Stats wise, I mean, you'll go with Mike Evans for consistency, but as far as overall skill, yeah, Tyreek Hill.
If we're talking skill, I'm going Mike Evans. If you're talking just pure speed, absolutely you pick Tyreek Hill, no questions asked. But if you go talent, you probably go Tyreek Hill. But if you go skills, consistency, route running, just multiple other aspects, and the fact that you mentioned those other receivers that he played with and he still produced at the level that he produced tells you that Mike Evans is the obvious choice there.
Oh, hey, keep in mind, his rookie year, because I just pulled it up. 68 receptions for 1,051 yards and 12 touchdowns in 15 games.
He's had 1,000 yards every season, but last season.
Yep.
And last season he was injured, and he would have been on pace for 1,000 yards otherwise.
Yep. And keep in mind, I didn't include Ibuka. That's in that lineup because he would have made 1,000 yards with Ibuka.
Just saying. Mike Evans is the most underrated receiver of his generation. You know who Mike Evans reminds me of? And this is maybe a bit of a controversial take, but just from the perspective of his ability and then being underrated compared to his peers, despite his stats, Andre Johnson.
Absolutely right. That's spot on too. Because people don't understand how good Andre Johnson was back then. And I think a lot of it was downplayed because of their running back that they had back then.
Arian Foster.
Yep, Arian Foster. Exactly who it was. They had it downplayed because part of it was you had Derek Carr. Was it David Carr throwing that man the ball, and he was still getting yards.
You had Deshaun Watson for a bit. You also had D-Hop on the other side, right? And then by the time he really got Watson, he was at the tail end of his career. But if you look at consistency, if you like in the Hall of Fame, you know who you go to. And you go Mike Evans or you go and Andre Johnson. You don't, and not, again, this is no disrespect to Tyreek Hill. I'm not here to diminish him in any capacity. From a speed perspective, this man's fantastic. He has amazing hands. He is extremely talented and extremely skilled. But I would much rather have Mike Evans.
I will say though, even though Mike Evans has probably 2 more seasons but more than Tyreek Hill, I looked at their yards. Huh?
1 more season.
1 more season?
Yep.
I'm looking at it. Let's see, 4, 8, 10, 5. I thought it was 12. Well, whichever. Hill has less seasons, but it's only under 2,000 yards away from from Evans. So that's a season of yards. And I was looking at their stats. Hill has had a couple of seasons under 1,000 yards, but still has enough to pretty much make way towards passing him in total yards in general. And I'm looking at it. I know Evans has the prettier stat line, but still, I think overall, when it comes to speed, when it comes to explosive, when it comes to playmaking, if we're going for king of the hill, I got. I hate puns. In this case, I'll die on that hill for Tyreek Hill.
All right, I need a consensus. Hill or Evans?
Rock, paper, scissors, because I'm going Evans easy.
All right. 1, paper, scissors, say shoot.
I can't see your hand.
That was paper. It was paper. Rock, paper, scissors, say shoot.
We going for Mike Evans, baby. Let's go.
Mike Evans is making the cut. Sorry, Hill.
Always lose on rock, paper, scissors. Oh my gosh.
So the next one on this list, who would you rather have? Mike Evans or D-Hop?
Mike Evans. And that's respectfully because D-Hop was amazing. But this is the only reason I say that. D-Hop's prime was too short of a period of time to put me over Mike Evans' consistency. And if I'm going to argue prime for prime, I would have put Tyreek Hill over D-Hop for that matter.
Yeah, I concur. I have no retort to that.
Yeah, I just like to add the snippet of D-Hop's prime, justice for D-Hop's prime, because his prime was reduced because of that racist that was running the Texans organization. That's why y'all are suffering now, Texas fans, and that's why y'all can't get over the hump because y'all don't need to. Although the head coach that's over there now is doing excellent work, beautiful work. This defense top tier. Please keep doing your thing. Black excellence in the month of February.
Oh, Nick,
keep doing your thing.
Wasn't also D'Amico Ryans an Eagle at one point too?
Yes, he was.
Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes,
Go Birds.
You already know. You know I'll be knowing. All right, so Mike Evans or Larry Legend?
Oh,
Larry Fitzgerald is what you said?
Yes.
Larry Fitzgerald, easy. Ooh. That's not even a question. Sorry, no disrespect to Mike Evans, but Larry Fitzgerald easily. Like clears them easily.
I mean, Evans got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
that cool. Don't mean nothing, bro.
I'll tell you this much: if Larry Fitzgerald lost to the Steelers and had nothing to do with Larry Fitzgerald was dominant in that game. I know I kicked a hole in the wall that game. Larry Fitzgerald,
y'all won that game. How you gonna kick on the wall when you won the game?
Did you not see the score that Larry Fitzgerald had with 1 minute and 30 seconds left?
But y'all won.
He gassed us for like 70 yards out of nowhere.
I don't care. Y'all won.
Everybody, even though he was a slow receiver. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, Larry Fitzgerald over Mike Evans, and it's not even close.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But Larry Fitzgerald won the game. How you could crash out and your team won?
Listen,
come on, man.
I crashed out before we won. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That wasn't your fault. I mean, James Harrison was on oxygen tank trying to recover. I mean, y'all defense was great, but I mean, come on, man. Y'all won the game. Anyway, move on.
Barely.
Move on.
We got lucky on that.
So you're saying Larry Legend?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Easily.
Yep. Right, easy clear. Larry Legend.
Probably the only person I'm going to put over Larry Fitzgerald from that era is probably going to be Julio Jones.
All right. Well, let's find. Well,
a question.
I could. Well, let's do it like this then. Then let's put it out there. Larry Legend or Julio Jones?
Well, no. You have a list. Go through your list.
Yeah, go through your list.
Larry Legend or AB?
Woo! You know I'm a Steelers fan. That's right.
Prime AB.
Prime AB was amazing.
Gotta go Prime AB.
I'm still going Larry Legend.
Nah, you gotta go Prime AB on this one.
Listen, I'll say it like this. Prime AB was the best receiver in football. For at least 4 seasons, he was the best receiver in football. Maybe even 5 seasons. But Larry Fitzgerald played for like 18 years. AB only played for 9 years or 11 years. So Larry Fitzgerald has 7 more seasons to not only stack up stats, and he was playing with way worse quarterback play. Do you know that Larry Fitzgerald, he had 2 seasons with Kurt Warner. Other than that, he had bum after bum after bum after bum. And I am a Steelers fan. AB is my guy. Without that hit from Vontaze Burfict, we would have a whole different conversation because AB would have kept rocking with the Steelers.
I just want to clarify something.
When AB left the Steelers, he was nowhere near the same receiver, though.
To my moderator, I just wanted to clarify. We're going from 2015 since that's when Tyreek Hill got drafted. Is that correct?
No, this is comparing careers, right? Or you
Yeah,
only
it's
comparing the
careers.
year of 2015?
Careers. So
Career.
it's
I'm taking
careers.
Larry Legend.
Oh,
I only
because I'm
pulled the
saying because
I only pulled the
2015.
wide receivers from 2015 that were playing in that era. So it
I'm
was
taking
who
Larry
would you
Legend.
take?
I'm taking Larry Legend, and if we talk entire career, I'm taking Larry Legend.
But
AB again.
2015, I'm taking
AB
AB.
had the
I mean,
best
I'm
prime
choosing
of
AB.
any receiver that I've seen, pretty much ever, other than Calvin Johnson. But AB, his length of time that he was dominant and who he was dominant with is entirely different than Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald on the other side had an Anquan Bolden who ran a 4.740.
I still would choose AB. I don't know why, but I would choose AB.
You're gonna over Larry Fitzgerald? Maybe
Yeah.
because we're saying Larry Legend, he's thrown off. Larry Fitzgerald is the number 3 receiver ever in the history of receiving. Number 3 on my list. Number 1 is Jerry Rice. Number 2 is Randy Moss. Number 3 is Larry Fitzgerald. I cannot put Antonio Brown over Larry Fitzgerald because he's not Randy Moss and he's not Jerry Rice. Larry Fitzgerald is the 3rd best receiver to ever lace them up, in my humble opinion.
Hey, you
And
already know what time it
I
is,
will
Jordan.
happily defend it. You need me to go through the numbers?
No, not you. I'm talking about Jordan.
I'm
I'm
about
talking
to
about
say
Jordan.
we
Because you
You
can
said
go.
you
in
got
his
everything
time.
right.
You said in his time, AB was the best receiver.
I said that AB had the best prime of any receiver that I've seen other than Calvin Johnson. What I also said
Yes.
was that Larry Fitzgerald is the number 3 best receiver in the history of the NFL. I therefore cannot put Antonio Brown over Larry Fitzgerald, despite him having a more intense prime. What I'll say is that if we're going just primes, I'm going out Antonio Brown. If we're going career, I'm going Larry Fitzgerald, and I'm not questioning it at all. He's the number 3 receiver in the history of the NFL to me.
I need a vote. Larry Legend or AB?
Larry Legend, Larry Fitzgerald all day.
We're going career. We're going overall career.
Career, not just his Steelers time. If we're talking just Steelers time, AB clears it. If we talking career, because this man played for the Raiders for like 12 seconds. He played for the Patriots for like 14 seconds. He played for the Bucks as like a number 3 receiver and went on the coattails and won a Super Bowl on Mike Evans' coattails.
Yeah, I will go AB.
Nah,
I mean,
Larry
not go AB. I'll
Fitzgerald,
go Larry. We'll go
not
Larry.
even close.
If that's the case, we go Larry.
All right. So Larry Fitzgerald or Odell Beckham Jr.
Larry Fitzgerald, not even close. I wouldn't have put Odell Beckham Jr. over any of those receivers that you already mentioned. I wouldn't put him over Tyreek Hill. I wouldn't put him over D Hop. I wouldn't have put him over Antonio Brown. I wouldn't put him over a single one. He's the lowest on that list.
I know. Oh, I know. That's me personally. I'm with you on this. Jordan, I need a call.
If it wasn't for that one catch, we wouldn't even be talking about him in this conversation.
We kind of would.
I mean, he's still Odell Beckham Jr. was still dynamite.
Seasons. He had 2 dominant seasons overall in his career. 2.
He was still dynamite. I mean,
2
compared, I think he got a bad deal.
7.
No, I'm saying he got a bad deal when it came to the Giants trading him to Cleveland because he didn't want to go there. But I mean, yeah, still Larry Legend, Larry Fitzgerald. But I'm just saying Odell got a really bad deal. But still Larry Fitzgerald, yeah.
But 2 good seasons is not about to beat Larry Fitzgerald. Get out of here.
We moving on. Larry Legend or AJ Green?
Woo! Now that's closer. But Larry Fitzgerald. AJ Green, to me, was probably number 13 on my list of receivers. I think that he played for a terrible team and benefited. His stats went up as a result. But I don't have AJ Green even as the best Bengal. To be honest, Chad Ochocinco has a better argument there, and then Jamar Chase has a better argument there. Do I respect AJ Green? 100%. That man was a beast. But he also played in a system that didn't really make him have to be the number 1. It didn't make him have to be dominant. and his decline was so steep, so immediate. It wasn't like we kind of good, we still kind of doing it. He was like amazing to trash. Like it was no middle ground. He had about 6 dominant seasons, which is less than AB. I would pick AB over AJ Green, and I would pick Larry Fitzgerald over both of them, and I would pick Mike Evans over AJ Green, and I would pick Tyreek Hill over AJ Green. But I would pick Larry Fitzgerald over all of them.
No, I got no reply for that. It's going to be easily Larry Legend over AJ Green.
All right, and then the last one, Larry Legend.
It's either Julio Jones or Calvin Johnson that you're about to give me.
Julio Jones.
I think Julio Jones was the most talented receiver that's ever played behind Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss. Julio Jones was fantastic. I don't know that he's better than Larry Fitzgerald. And this is where this comes into the idea. Matt Ryan had 2 receivers that were stellar on the outside there with Julio Jones and old buddy from that small college, Roddy White, right? He had 2 dominant 6'4" receivers to throw the ball up to. He also had Tony Gonzalez for a stretch there. If we remember, right? And he had dominant running backs as well and during that run. As a result, Julio Jones, who was probably one of my favorite fantasy picks ever, was amazing. But that comes back to that same conversation of peak versus length. Julio Jones, to me, had the same length of peak as Antonio Brown. So therefore, I go with Larry Fitzgerald. And that's the closest one to me by far.
Yeah, I still got to go Larry.
I'm going Larry Fitzgerald. Don't get me wrong. I think Julio Jones would beat most receivers on most lists. But as soon as you include an immediate first ballot Hall of Famer like Larry Fitzgerald, it's difficult for me to put anybody over that man other than Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. And then Calvin Johnson makes a hell of an argument. like that. Calvin Johnson played 2 more seasons, he might have been above Randy Moss. Like Calvin Johnson was amazing and never not dominant. I can't say that Julio Jones was never not dominant.
The thing that makes it so upsetting for Calvin Johnson was Calvin Johnson needed to get that Matt Stafford treatment. Like,
he got the Matt Stafford treatment. He just didn't go to another team to get the Matt Stafford treatment. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he needed that type of Matt Stafford treatment. Like, go to another team and get what you want. Because let's be fair here. Between Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson, they kept the Detroit Lions from having multiple 0-16 wins.
And Barry Sanders, like they screwed multiple people's career. The Detroit Lions did before Dan Campbell got there. The Detroit Lions were a joke.
Yeah, because people was always writing them off as a win, but in 2009, Matt Stafford came in there, Calvin Johnson came in there, and they changed that league. They changed it up. And thank God Dan Campbell's in there now making waves with the Lions.
I needed. So this would have been a question for.
But he needs to do better when it comes to fourth quarters.
I agree. He's terrible in the fourth quarter. This one doesn't have to be a question for now, but you had asked us before, like, hey, would we rather have saved Derrick Rose's knee or blah blah blah? It should be, would we rather have had Calvin Johnson have 3 more healthy seasons, or would we rather have, I don't know. I don't even know what you could compare, because had he had 3 more,
I could put something up.
Would have been Randy flipping Moss, number 2 overall, and he's very close to number 2 on our list. He would have beat Larry Legend, and Larry Legend's my guy. But Calvin Johnson, that man was the most dominant receiver I have ever seen in my life, behind Randy Moss, and it's close. The fact that you're in the conversation with, like, who's more dominant, Calvin Johnson or Randy Moss, I'm telling you, like, bro, Calvin Johnson was the specimen. That man was 6'5", running a 4.2 740. At 6'5", 215 pounds, ran like a gazelle. This man would throw the ball up.
Ridiculous.
They would be running a cover four corners with three corners on him and a safety coming over the top, and my man would still come down with the ball, bro. Well, Calvin Johnson was amazing.
So here's the question of the year, and I'm gonna come with a good one too. Here's what you have. It's a 3-part would you rather. Would you rather have Calvin Johnson have 3 healthy seasons,
3 more?
3 more additional healthy seasons, Randy Moss and the Patriots win that Super Bowl against New England, or would you rather have Julio Jones and that Atlanta team win that Super Bowl against the Patriots?
I think it's Calvin Johnson. It's not even close. Because I don't give a damn about Matt Ryan losing 28-3. And I'm extremely happy that the Patriots lost that Super Bowl after going undefeated. Did I want Randy Moss to get a ring? Absolutely. Would I have rather seen 3 more healthy seasons of Calvin Johnson? But that's not even close. Calvin Johnson was the most dominant receiver in the history of the game behind Randy Moss. Jerry Rice had a better career, and he had a couple statistical games that were amazing. But if you look at Calvin Johnson, I think Calvin Johnson had a game where he had over 300 yards receiving.
Yep.
So I wonder, just randomly.
I think it was 329 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I just have a random question for the both of you. Who would Calvin Johnson's NBA equivalent be?
Derrick Rose.
Nah, I don't think so. Derrick Rose won an MVP, went to the mountaintop. He didn't play for a terrible, 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 terrible team all that time. Nah, I don't think. I think.
Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady's a great example. Absolutely, that's a great example. That's all. That might even be the best one. I was thinking Pistol Pete Maravich, right? But I think Tracy McGrady may be an even better example there. I also would have said
Wouldn't say Grant Hill, but no, Calvin Johnson. Although
Grant
Calvin
Hill would
Johnson,
be a good example, but Tracy McGrady even more
yeah,
than Grant Hill. Penny Hardaway would be a
yeah,
great
but
example
they
as
were
well.
both playmakers. But Calvin Johnson, was more of just
But
I'm going up for the
let's
ball.
ask it this way: who played for the worst team, but was the best player on the worst team that you could think of, and was the best player in the league for the worst team that you could think of? That would be who Calvin Johnson was. The best player in the league on the worst team that could possibly exist.
Larry Legend. We could argue Larry
I
Legend.
thought you were talking about NBA wise.
No, we talk about NBA. He said NBA.
I would say,
Oh,
hell,
NBA
we
wise.
going that way. I
NBA
would say
comparison.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo is a good example too.
I would say Carmelo because he was playing on some buns
Carmelo
teams.
played on some
Good
rough teams.
lord.
Melo's a good example. T-Mac's a good example, right?
Yeah, see that.
I like the T-Mac example probably the most because that was. But the thing is that T-Mac had a team around him. I would even argue Vince Carter. You
I
know,
think Vince Carter is a perfect example.
like dominant player.
No, because at one point Calvin Johnson was considered the best receiver ever. In his
And Vince
time,
was never considered the best receiver, the best player ever.
Ooh,
Okay,
he was
what
the
about
best high flyer. He was the best slasher, but not the best player of his kind.
okay.
what about Gilbert Arenas?
I think Gilbert Arenas' longevity wasn't there enough, nor was his peak high enough that he was number one player. Where like you couldn't stop that man. He had like a season where he was that guy. Agent Zero came into action, but if you like if is he in that GOAT status category? I would say back when Ray Allen was with the Bucks.
I would lean more towards Gilbert Arenas, honestly. I'm thinking about it, just based off of the time that he was in the league and had some garbage teams.
He did.
You could count on zero to get the ball last second, give you a shot and get your money. I mean,
Let's think about it like this. Who were some terrible teams back then that we're this? Oh, you know who comes to mind? Um, Jason Kidd before he was on Jason Kidd on the Nets.
Yes,
That
kid
comes
with
to
the
mind
Nets.
because he was the best point guard in the NBA
you're talking
on
about
a
before
terrible
2002.
team. I'm talking about before he went to Dallas. When
No, but
2002,
no, because 2000 in that 2000s, the Nets were a formidable team. They may not have went to the finals. I
they
mean,
were formidable.
past
You're right. Maybe that's not a
2003,
good
but
example.
yeah,
Okay. What
they
about
went
what
to the
about the
finals twice.
Sacramento Kings when they had Patience Stojakovic?
No, because they had Mike Bibby, they
They had
had
Bibby, they
Chris
had Vlade
Webber, so that
Divac,
was
right?
2001,
They had a
2002.
team. Okay. Who else? Chris Webber when he was on Golden State. Maybe I'm pushing it now.
You
You're
pushing
going
that a
further into
little.
the 90s or 2000s, but I think T Mac is a better example for
Mac might be the
Calvin.
best. I don't know that I can beat that reference there.
Dennis Rodman, maybe.
Nah, Dennis
That
Rodman
might be
was
too
never
far back.
talented enough. Dennis Rodman and his
No,
team wasn't terrible enough. No, I can't give you that.
no.
Um, it could be Dirk Nowitzki on those early Mavericks teams.
Mavs were
Those
always a
teams,
playoff
the
team,
Mavericks teams
even
were
though they
the Mavericks were terrible for years.
But they were still They were still playoff teams though, so it
Not
wouldn't
well,
count.
not initially. What about Amari Stoudemire with those Suns teams? He had a couple of good chances there. He had a couple of good chances with the Knicks.
Yeah.
no, I would say Amari Stoudemire before like 2005.
Okay. You know what? This is probably this is one of those ones we got to come to the audience for this one
Yeah,
because I think
like
that this
whoever's
is a really
watching
good
and whoever watches some of the
question.
playback, put it in the comments. Who do you think is Calvin Johnson's NBA equivalent?
This is a good one. I'm going to be thinking about this one for a while because I think T Mac is like a really really good answer. I'm just trying to think if I have a better answer.
Mm. I don't know if you're gonna find
Like
one.
like it reminds me of when Deshaun Watson had that fantastic season with the uh Texans and they won 4 games. But he had that every season. You know what I mean? That was how
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson had it. Like it was like Wemby's rookie year every year.
Yikes. Yeah, we don't
Like,
need that.
bro, that's exactly how it was.
All right. I do
That's a
have
good one,
because
though.
I gotta go back just so that you know we have 5 wide receivers that ever scored 300 yards a game, had 300 plus
And Calvin
receiving
Johnson
yards a
did
game.
it more than once, right?
No,
I know he did
well,
it once.
he did do it once.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I want to see if y'all can guess it. I'm gonna
And
give
he
you
won
the
the
number
Triple
one.
Crown that year, too.
I'm gonna give you number one. Number one is Flipper Anderson.
Okay, I wouldn't have got that.
Calvin Johnson is number two. I'm gonna see if y'all can figure out the remaining 3.
Steve
Two of
Largent.
them, two of them y'all talked about.
Steve Largent.
Nope,
Tim Brown.
nope,
Randy Moss.
nope.
You said 300-yard receivers.
300 yard.
Yep,
Michael Irvin? No, he didn't have a 300
nope,
yard game. He never had a 300 yard. T.O.
nope,
Josh Gordon.
nope.
Gordon had a hell of a Josh Gordon had a hell of a run.
He had a lot of 200-yard games, but he didn't have a 300-yard one.
300 yard. We've talked about them. Uh Antonio Brown? No, he didn't have a 300 yard game.
Yes, he did.
What?
303, October 13th.
My man, let's go, AV.
He
Tyreek Hill, did
actually
Tyreek Hill have a 300 yard game?
he comes in number 4. Tyreek didn't do it. He narrowly missed it.
Was that the Tampa Bay game against Kansas City?
Mike Evans when he scored 5 touchdowns?
I believe so.
Was that the Mike Evans game when he scored 5 touchdowns?
Who?
Mike Evans, he scored 5 touchdowns in the game. Did he score
No.
300 yards that game?
Nope.
I remember I played against him in fantasy that week. Those 5 touchdowns destroyed me because I was up by 72 points and he scored 75 by
You
himself.
said we talked about this other receiver. Who would have been?
It wasn't T.O. It wasn't Deshaun Jackson. He had no damn 300-yard game. I don't think it was Deshaun Jackson.
Nope.
300-yard game.
Well,
Actually, hold on, because I pulled it up. It's not AB. I don't know why they said AB. Because I'm pulling the stat card up now.
I don't remember him having 300 yards, but if he did, that's a fantastic flipping. I know Calvin Johnson had 329. I remember that specifically.
That is true. It's not AB. I take it back. There was a little bit of issue on my data. But the following is 6 people. Jim Benton from the Cleveland Rams versus Detroit Lions in 1945.
Wouldn't have got that.
Cloyce Box, Lions versus the Colts, the Baltimore Colts, 1950.
Wouldn't have got that.
309, Stephon Page, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers, 1985.
I'd have got that.
Willie Flipper Anderson, the Rams versus the Saints. That one went to overtime in 1989. Of course, Calvin Johnson, the Lions versus the Cowboys, October 27, 2013. The most recent one is Julio Jones, Falcons versus the Panthers, October 2nd, 2016.
How many did he have that game?
300 exact.
300 exact. Yep. Okay. Shouts to Julio for that. But I knew Calvin had 329 because I remember seeing that like, bruh, what? That number just always stuck in my mind. It was wild.
And I was telling him to keep going. I was like, y'all can't get 8 more yards. Go get 8 more yards, Julio. Go get 8 more yards, Calvin. Go ahead. I'm rooting for him the whole time.
You probably had him in fantasy. That's probably why.
No, I didn't. That was the crazy part. I didn't have him in fantasy that year. But we're going to go ahead and move on because we spent a lot of time on this. I got keep 3, cut 7 for y'all. It's not keep 3, cut 5. Keep 3, cut 7. Because we talked about a lot of receivers that was on the list when we talked about Tyreek Hill. However, we are now talking about the young wide receivers, the next generation of wide receivers. So, therefore, I have 10 names for you guys to decide who are y'all going to keep, who are y'all going to cut. All right? You guys ready? Because first name on the list, Garrett Wilson.
This is young receivers?
Yes.
Cut.
Garrett Wilson, you're talking about for the Jets? Cut.
Yes.
I like Garrett Wilson. I'm happy he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's on a terrible team, and he has no chance of being dominant until he changes teams.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Garrett Wilson is out of here. Easy cut for number 1. Number 2 on the list, George Pickens.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you who I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna tell you in advance. I'm gonna keep JSN. I'm gonna keep Justin Jefferson.
We got wait. You don't know where receivers he's gonna choose. We got. Let's give it time.
Listen, if I hear those 3, I'm telling you who I'm gonna keep: JSN, Jamar Chase, Justin.
We got a couple of this together.
I had to cut 7. I'm about to be cutting everybody. Cut George Pickens.
You said
Pickens. He had a fantastic season. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Pick we're gonna cut, but if it was like 4 or 5, I would keep. But
if it was 5, I'd keep him.
All right. Well, Pickens, you're out of here. Next on the list, Jamar Chase.
Keep. Easy keep. Immediate keep. Yep.
See. Oh, I'm thinking. This is 3.
Keep 3, cut 7. I'm keeping Jamar Chase. If that's the hill I have to stand on today, that's fine. I will 100% stand on Jamar Chase hill easily. And the only other one I'll put on that list would be Amon-Ra St. Brown in that top 4. But knowing Nick, he's going to throw out CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, keep.
He's going to throw out Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to throw out all the guys. It's fine. I'm keeping Jamar Chase, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Keeping Jamar Chase. Next on the list.
Oh, and Puka. Puka would stay on the list. Yep.
Chris Olave.
Cut. Respectfully.
All right. Jordan, in agreement?
Yep.
Cut. Yeah, cut.
Oh, okay. In
Jamar Chase
agreement.
so far.
All right. Next on the list, Zay Flowers.
Cut.
You gotta make it convincing, man.
I
Cut.
love that he got his 1,000-yard season. Good job.
Hey, here's what it is.
We're
Next
gonna
on
give
the
you your
list.
flowers, but cut.
You over here. Just next on the list. Jamison Williams.
Cut.
Ooh.
That's an easy cut for me.
Nah. I see what you're doing, Nick, but these are some good ones.
These are decent. The only
Yeah.
good one up there has been Jamar Chase. George Pickens was good. Jamar Chase is great. Jamar Chase is the only one that deserves to be on this list so far.
So if we get to 8 and there's the final 2, we gotta
Oh,
keep them.
you know what he's gonna do. I'm already telling you. It's either gonna be Puka, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. Those could be the next 5. Go ahead. We already know.
We have 4 more, by the way.
Whatever.
Next.
So we cutting?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure. Next on the list, Malik Neighbors.
Cut.
I tell you what niggas doing. He's not naming the ones that would be easy. Like
That's
these are
okay.
ones that you have to
I'm
actually
cutting
think
people
about.
easy. Listen, he told me to cut 7. I'm about to be cutting the fat right now, bro.
Next on the list, Nico Collins.
Cut.
See, look what you're doing.
It's gonna be the last 2, and they're gonna be some bums, and I'm gonna be looking like a dumbass. But Jamar Chase,
I've been telling you what he's doing, but
or you like Brian Thomas Jr. I'm like, cut.
Nico, he's good.
Keep in mind, this
He's a
is your
great
last
one.
cut.
This is my last cut.
This is your last cut.
That was Collins was the last cut.
If you decide to cut this, you say cut?
Collins was the last cut.
Left, but Nico Collins is my last cut.
Yes. It will be your last cut.
Cut.
All right.
You know it's me out there. Shoot the dice.
I mean, hey.
Whoa, P3 cut 7 edition. You guys cut Garrett Wilson. You cut George Pickens. You kept Jamar Chase. You cut.
No, we kept Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you kept him.
Yeah.
You cut Chris Olave. You cut Zay Flowers. You cut Jamison Williams. You cut Malik Neighbors. You cut Nico Collins. And your final 2 keeps are Drake London and Devontae Smith.
I would have thought Pickens over Devontae Smith.
See, this is why I told you. I told you what he
was
going to do, but you just kept on saying, Jason, I told you he was going to pick other receivers. Pick would have been a keep, and then Devontae Smith.
I wouldn't have kept Devontae Smith over Drake London.
You kept both.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that. I'm just saying I wouldn't have kept Devontae Smith.
You would put Drake London over Devontae Smith?
I would have kept George Pickens, Drake London, and Jamar Chase.
Drake London over Devontae Smith?
Easily.
No way. No way.
Your bias is showing, sir.
It's not even bias.
It is.
Devontae Smith was one of the top 6 straight
drafted? Look at the stats. Look at the impact. Look at the size difference. Look at the speed difference. Look at the possession type of receivers. Look how many catches they're getting. Look at the yards after catch. Look, all the stats tell me that Drake London over Devontae Smith is an easy situation. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if you said AJ Brown is more comparable to Drake London.
The fact that Devontae Smith weighs less than Drake London but still catches more and does more should be
Can we please go through the stats there? Because I'm under the impression that Drake London's stat line is much better.
Pulling them up right now.
5,019 yards for Devontae Smith.
And I think he's been in the league longer than
career-wise.
Drake London.
We're not even going to look at Drake London's career yards. Let's just go past that.
Wait, what's the career yards?
It's less than Devontae Smith's.
He's been in the league less time.
I got you. So, Devontae Smith played 80 games, has 385 receptions, 5,019 yards, 13 yards as a reception, 13 receptions as an average, reception yards is 62.7, 31 reception touchdowns, and that's about it. Drake London, 62 games, 309
games
receptions.
Less, which means that he's been in the league for at least one less season.
Yep. 309 yards, 3961 yards, 12.8
So
receptions.
wait 1 second. Just put that in perspective. That means that Devontae Smith is up by 1,100 yards in one season. He's literally been there for an extra season, and he therefore has 1,100 more yards. Mathematically speaking, Drake London is on pace to be better. Drake London is averaging over 1,300 yards a game. 1,300 yards a season. Sorry.
They just started force feeding Drake London because Kyle
That's the
Pitts
only receiver that
was
they
in the
have.
pits.
Yes, I know. I agree
and
with
and and
that.
the
100%.
Falcons were having trouble dealing with a quarterback. I'm not going to put Drake London over Devontae
I
Smith.
would easily, not even close.
All right, well, it is what it is.
Wouldn't matter.
They
We got them
said,
both.
yep.
But I don't feel bad about that one. Only one I would have kept would have been George Pickens.
I thought y'all were gonna keep George Pickens. The immediate
He
cut.
wanted to let go of Pickens because he thought of JSN and Puka and everything. But I knew what she was
JSN,
doing.
Puka, Amara, St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. I said, oh, no, you ain't about to just have me up here having George Pickens over any of them.
All
Like
right,
they would think of before that they would think of Drake London as the potential target, but you got Kyle Pitts there. Like, why would Devontae Smith? AJ
Kyle Pitts
Brown's gonna
can't
have to have
catch.
his on and off days, but Devontae Smith,
Kyle Pitts
if he
can't
could be
catch.
his one, he would be the one.
Devontae Smith would be the one over Drake London?
He could be a one, yes.
I will agree
No.
with that. I will agree with that.
He's a
The reason
fantastic
why
two. He's not a
the
one.
reason why I agree with it is because if Devontae goes to, hypothetically speaking, if Devontae goes to Atlanta, he easily becomes the number one receiver.
No,
Because
over Drake London? Not true.
yes,
0%.
route running,
This is
much
a bad
better than
take.
Devontae.
I'm telling you
Much
now.
better.
You're going to get
Much
vilified in
better.
the comments. This is a terrible take.
And that's fine. You can vilify me
Drake
all you want
London
to in the
has been
comments.
dominant. Drake London has been dominant
Doing
as the
what? Being
only receiver.
injured?
He's the
The
only
craziest
receiver.
part is
And
he's a
he's still been
two
dominant.
getting
He's been
over
double
1,000
covered.
yards, almost 1,000 yards per
Do you
year.
check how often Drake London is double covered compared to Devontae Smith?
It doesn't matter if he's double covered, triple covered, or
Devontae
covered in
Smith.
oil by the Lord. It does not matter. The
Yo,
quarterback's not going to throw to him.
I'm trying to tell
hey,
you
that is true.
that Drake London is better than Devontae Smith. And I'm
All I
telling
know
you,
is,
it's not close.
all
I'm
I'm telling you is,
I'm
if
just saying,
Devontae Smith goes to Atlanta, he becomes the immediate number one
as
receiver.
a
That's a
two,
bad take. I'm telling
the
you, that's
fact
not true.
that
I'm confident that's not true. One, he's too diminutive. Two, he's better in his role as a wide receiver too. The reason he has the stats that he has is because they're putting all the double coverages against AJ Brown. Anybody double covering Devontae Smith? I'll tell you straight
Bro,
up, they're not doing it.
are
they
you
won't
kidding me?
double cover AJ Brown because AJ Brown's hands has been for decoration. So guess where that extra man is going? It's
That's your
going to
boy.
Devontae Smith. It's
Listen,
going to somebody who has reliable hands.
and Drake
You're
London has
comparing
even
6'4"
more reliable
to
on him.
6 feet. The fact that Drake London doesn't have more yards should be an indictment on him.
No, he's getting double and triple covered. He's the only receiver.
He's taller than everybody else.
Kyle Pitts cannot catch. Who else is on? Name the wide receiver two for the Atlanta Falcons.
Who are you talking about? The receiver for Falcons? Let's see. We got
Name wide
Drake
receiver two.
London. I thought McLeod, not McLeod.
No, it's not Raymond McLeod. Try again.
Who's the two?
Olamide Zacchaeus. Bum.
Oh,
So what I'm trying to tell you is
past
they have
Eagle.
Drake London to throw the ball to, or they don't have Austin
That's
to
on the
throw the ball.
Falcons. That's
Kyle
on.
Pitts cannot catch. Kyle Pitts has been.
That's not
I
on. That's
drafted
not
Kyle
on.
Pitts in fantasy in 1 year. This was probably my worst thing I ever did in fantasy. Second worst thing I ever did in fantasy. I drafted Kyle Pitts in the first round in fantasy 1 year, a single season league. I drafted Kyle Pitts in the first round. I lost worse in that league than any other league I've ever lost in my life. I'm trying to tell you, Kyle Pitts is a bum, and on top of him being a bum, he's the number 2 option.
No,
receiving wise.
Kyle Pitts was not the problem because I drafted
Kyle
him in the
Pitts
first
was not
round
the
as
problem?
well. No, because the Falcons were piss poor as an offense then.
Brother.
They were trying to figure out how to throw the ball, let alone
You didn't
get
even
the ball
know
to
the
Kyle
wide
Pitts.
receiver two.
I held on to Kyle Pitts every year because I knew eventually he was going to have his breakthrough year.
You're stubborn, not because you are good at fantasy. It's because
besides the fact that I'm stubborn at times, yes, but Kyle Pitts was going to have his breakout year, and this was his year.
How many? Okay, this was his breakout year. He was still terrible.
No, he wasn't.
It was still terrible by
comparatively to what he was supposed to be, being drafted number 4 overall, Kyle Pitts was definitely still crap. Here's another thing. They were force-feeding Kyle Pitts, not Drake London this past season. And Drake London is easily a wide receiver 1. Drake London is going in that unbelievably underrated category of Mike Evans. The fact that you think Devontae Smith could hold a candle to Drake London is diabolical.
Easy.
Yes.
Diabolical.
Easy.
If you're all I'm gonna tell you is that y'all's bias is showing. Because
No,
you
the
go do the
man.
research, you be incorrect. If you watch the
You are
games,
talking.
have you guys watched the games? Have you watched the Falcons play at all?
First of all, pull this man's Devontae Smith resume up. You are talking about
His
a
college
Heisman.
resume, absolutely. His
Heisman.
NFL resume, absolutely.
Tell me the Heisman that Drake London has.
Talk about. I said his college resume. I just said you have Devontae Smith 100% for the college resume. But we talking the NFL. The NFL. I'm going Drake London easily over Devontae Smith.
What's Drake London's draft? Let's see where Drake London got drafted at.
Number 5.
Since you want to do it.
Number 5.
Number 5? Oh, that's because Atlanta was desperate.
Number 7. No, it's number 7.
Beyond desperate.
It was number 7.
Because he was desperate.
Devontae Smith was number 13.
Yeah, beyond desperate. That's
Devontae
an
Smith
understatement.
was number 17. And Drake London was number 7 or 8.
Let's find out. I'm about to pull it up right now. Give me 1 second.
Sure. I think Drake London was number 8. Devontae Smith was number 17.
No, Devontae Smith was the number 6 receiver pick because I
didn't say what number was he picked in the draft. That's what I'm saying.
Devontae Smith was first, number 10.
Drake London was picked 8th.
I said 8. I said that. Cool. Devontae Smith
was picked 6.
Devontae Smith was picked number 6 overall?
Yes.
No, he was 10th. It was first round, 10th pick.
Not number 6 overall that year.
Devontae Smith was number 6 because we were trash the year before. Because
we're
talking about draft pick.
Yeah, what pick was he in the draft?
He was first round. He was a 10th pick 10. In the first round.
It was number 10.
Okay, I thought it was 17. Cool.
It was number
10 versus number 8. So draft status, they're about equal.
Yeah. So draft status about equal. So again, but still, Devontae Smith, he has ballerina catches. On the sideline, well, you got to get sideline catches to help get you near the field goal range. You got to throw to Drake London.
He doesn't go across the middle.
He's not supposed to. The man is literally, he weighs
like 98 pounds.
Bro, I weigh more than Devontae Smith.
Which is more than him. Why I'm trying to tell you that I would take Drake London over Devontae Smith easily, not even close.
Bro, we're not about to sit here and discuss this, bro. Again, when you talk about who has catchability and who is able to run routes, bro, Drake London is just powering through people.
I'll tell you that Devontae Smith is a better route runner than Drake London. I'll give you that.
That's what I've been saying.
Drake
He's
London
a better route runner.
Drake London has hands, if not equivalent, if not better than Devontae Smith, is what I'll tell you. And Drake London's a bigger body. And Drake London has speed. And Drake London's a contested catch ratio is way better. And he's not having drops that Devontae Smith has had this past 2 seasons.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If we're talking,
watch the games.
I'm telling you, I watch the games.
You don't watch Atlanta play. You only watch Philly play, which is why your bias is showing. I watch a lot of Atlanta play because I got Bijan Robinson on my fantasy team.
What I'm saying is, we cannot. Yes, you can sit here and say, because again, I watch the games. I've watched the games when Devontae Smith was the number 1 receiver, and he was good, but he wasn't that good. Let's keep that in mind.
Facts.
Because again, who he had as a receiving corps, he had bums. He had worse bums than Atlanta had with Drake London right now.
Not true. 0%.
Bums.
0%.
What are you talking about, bro?
0% true.
Our running back was Miles Sanders. Hey, who's better, Bijan Robinson or Miles Sanders? Let me go ahead here.
Bijan Robinson.
Easily. Exactly. It's not even close.
Exactly.
Okay. But who are the other receivers around Devontae Smith?
Quarterback-wise. Who are the other? Bro, the other receivers, bro, you couldn't even. You had what's the boy name? Because he dropped balls all the time. The man can't catch a cold. He can't catch a case. He can't catch anything. I can't even think of the people right now. They had to literally resign. Greg Ward was one of them. They had to resign. Matter of fact, let me pull this up real quick because you got me all the way messed up.
So
2021.
your point is that when Devontae Smith had bums around him, he was wide receiver 1 and he wasn't that good. I'm telling you that Drake London has bums around him and he's fantastic. That already tells you.
Well, here you go.
Drake London is better.
2021. He had Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Jalen Reagor, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, bro. Bums.
Right.
And John Hightower that we got from the Cardinals.
All bums.
Bums.
Those are all bums. I'll agree with that.
I'll take Zacchaeus over any of those bums.
Maybe, probably.
No, ain't no maybe. Ain't no
maybe barely, by like less than 1%. But okay, let's put it in perspective like this.
I'll take it for this week.
Let's put it in perspective like this. When he had to be wide receiver 1 for the Eagles, what were his stats?
Bro, he had 916 and five touchdowns.
So he didn't have 1,000 yards. So he was wide receiver 1 without even making 1,000 yards.
Yes.
Perfect. So that means to tell you that he was not better than Drake London because Drake London was wide receiver 1. He had over 1,000 yards each season, and he had more touchdowns.
Bro, we're not about to do this.
All right, we're not gonna do this tonight. We're not gonna do this tonight.
You got to listen.
Here we go.
Feel free to have the audience chime in on this. Because I'm telling you that Drake London is better than Devontae Smith.
You had Drake London, but I need to get the actual stats. Let me get the actual stats out here. You had Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota throwing that man
Desmond Ridder was throwing him the ball. Did you hear what you said out loud?
I said what I said. And you also had Algier, who had 1,000 yards rushing, and you had Cordell Patterson, who had 600-700 yards rushing. Marcus Mariota was third on that list.
Mariota was terrible. Desmond Ridder was terrible.
You had
how many yards did he have with those bums throwing the ball?
866 off of 72 receptions and 117 targets.
So was that his rookie year or was that his sophomore year?
That's his rookie year.
Okay, and then was Devontae Smith's numbers that you gave his rookie year or his sophomore year?
Hold on, I'm about to pull that one up. Give me 1 second.
I think Devontae Smith's been in the league for 6 years. I think he started in the league 2020, if I'm not
2021.
mistaken.
Don't worry. I got you, Mike. You know I'm here for you, my guy.
Perfect. Drake London is better than Devontae Smith.
Again, you had Gardner Minshew, who had to play for 4 games because Hurts was not playing. Jalen Hurts.
Way better. Jalen Hurts is 9,000 times better than
rushing.
Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota were in Atlanta.
Again, but when we look at it, we're looking at Hurts that threw Hurts. Well, yeah, they were trash. They were trash. Because Hurts threw for 31 that year. But rushing, you had Jalen Hurts as the quarterback leading the team in rushing with 784 yards. Leading.
Okay.
And next on the list was Miles Sanders with 754.
So listen to what you're saying. You're saying that because Atlanta had a run game, that their passing game, which was only had Drake London, was better? Or are we saying that Devontae Smith had Jalen Hurts, who also was running the ball, and had no competition for targets because everybody was terrible?
We need to move on from this, considering the fact that
40 receiving yards total.
We need to move on from this, considering the fact that the Eagles had the #1 rushing attack that year in 2021 before A.J. Brown got there. They were 25th in passing. They barely had any receivers. But Devontae Smith, the fact that he got almost 1,000 yards, that is a miracle.
He had 916 yards.
He's close to it. I said close to 1,000 yards. It's a miracle.
Perfect. It wasn't
an indictment of his skill nor Jalen Hurts' skill. It was the schemes.
Quarterback.
Drake London, I'm still picking Devontae Smith over Drake London.
Desmond Ridder Timeout.
I'm
That's
picking
like the Steelers having Kenny Pickett. He was worse than
You're
Kenny
not
Pickett.
good
He was
change
worse than
my
Kenny
stance
Pickett.
on this.
And you're trying to
I'm
tell me
picking
that
Devontae
Bro,
Smith
Drake London
over
didn't.
Drake
the
London.
only reason I'm going to give this edge to you, Mike, is because Philly still had Dallas Goedert, and he was better than 90% of that list. That is the only reason you get the edge on it.
They had
The only
Desmond Ritter
reason.
throwing them the ball for multiple games. Not one,
Bro,
not two, like the
Here?
majority of he was the starter.
I
Desmond
don't care if
Ritter
it's
was the
Desmond Ritter. I
starter.
don't care if it's Desmond the Riddler. I'm not choosing him over Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Quarterback determines one, how the passes are going, two, how accurate they are. Do you know how inaccurate Desmond Ritter is? Do you know how inaccurate Desmond Ritter is?
I mean, he's not inaccurate enough that he still has a job in the league.
Does he? Is he what, a third string?
it is what it is.
Just saying. At
I
one point,
last time I checked, he's actually a backup for Green Bay right now.
awesome. You know who else was inaccurate, had a job? Tim Tebow, Johnny Football. I can keep going on and on. There was a lot of inaccurate quarterbacks that had jobs in the NFL.
Hey, well, we can move on because
Desmond Ritter being a starter as your
because I
starter?
gotta pass this Crash King title off. Crash
Yeah.
King title. So we gonna move on.
I
We
was
are
trying to
moving
get
on
it,
to
but that's
Jordan's
okay.
favorite topic out here, ladies and gentlemen. The NBA All-Star Weekend.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I have the results from that weekend. Of course, we're gonna cut through the highlights and tape. It was wrapped up in Inglewood, California, and some of them gifts were impressive. However, some of them was very questionable. One of the ones, we got Team Stars that edged out Team Stripes 47-21 in the final championship game. Anthony Edwards dominating the weekend and taking the MVP honors after a 32-point showing. Now, that was pretty much one of the highlights of the weekend. Of course, Team Stars shot a scorching 60.6% from the field, while Team Stripes couldn't match up. They couldn't even crack above 26%. So they really got dominated. TV, they said it went up 87% last year, from 8.8 million to 9.8. It went up 87% to about 8.8 million and peaking at 9.8 million viewers. Now, the low life of the All-Star careers, and this is where I'm gonna try to get through this without Jordan cutting me off. Damian Lillard, the guy that was injured all season, hit 29 three-pointers to win the three-point contest, joining the elite club of 3-time winners.
3 times.
So he won it 3 times. The slam dunk contest winner is Keyshawn Johnson, who took the
There was no
home.
winner of that.
Dunk contest
There was no
terrible.
winner of that dunk contest. Everybody lost. I don't care. No. We're not gonna just slide past that dunk contest like there was an actual winner. No. Everybody lost. How does a player that did not log in 1 minute in this season win a 3-point contest? When you have like Devin Booker, I think Devin Booker was a part of it. Con Canupa was in there. He had all these other players. A player that wasn't even on the depth chart. He was listed as out with Achilles. He beat y'all. That should tell you how the whole season has been going. The fact that a player that I played just as many minutes as him, and I'm right here. And the fact that he won, put me in the game, coach. Put me out there.
Jordan, I heard that Kashad Johnson's dunks were better than Blake Griffin's dunk contest. That's what I heard from the.
He's trying
I
to
gotta take a
give
drink
me
on that.
type. No, because first off, I need to know. I guess all apples fall away from the tree in this case because Jace Richardson, who is the son of Jason Richardson, are you okay? Because one of those dunks had you sounding like this.
I broke my back. What do you mean by that? Your back is broken. A vertebrae or what portion? Spinal.
Did you see that dunk?
I
Dude
saw the
fell
dunk.
on his back, and it looked like it hurt. I want to know if he's okay because that's how you know he only had 4 dunks the entire season. He had 4 more dunks than me, and I can't dunk. Bro,
Hey,
why are you in the dunk contest if you can't dunk? You only got in there by name. The other people couldn't even dunk right. You had a dude, he almost put a Daryl Armstrong, almost did a layup dunk just to get on the board. Bruh, no. The only reason the dude from Miami won is because he completed his dunks.
Oh,
Carter Bryant, you didn't take Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant's skills. All you did was take their name because you're 6'30" and you all you have to do is just jump and you could have dunked, you could have won. But no, you had to be that guy. No, no, that was horrible. The
it,
only thing that saved that piss poor excuse of a weekend was the All-Star game. I like the format that they did. They had the world versus the US. Shout out to Victor Wembanyama for being 8'30", uh, setting the tone for everybody, making them feel like they wanted to play. I mean, I got some beef with Nikola Jokic just taking PTO. That's Kawhi Leonard's job. Kawhi said, "Nah, I'm not taking PTO this game. I'm actually going to play." Imagine you play like that for an entire season or his entire career. He'd be up there probably in the top 10, top 15 of best players ever. But I digress. You want to know how bad this weekend was? Ant-Man was shocked that he got the MVP. He didn't even think he deserved it. He's like, "Oh, well, you give me the MVP, I'll take it." Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard was the one that had that burst of scoring. That's how bad it was. Like a celebrity game. I barely recognized who was there. I think there was a celebrity 3-point contest. You had Drewski throwing up air balls. Uh, that dunk contest. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like they're gonna try and blame LeBron for it every single time. You
but how
can't
you gonna
blame
blame
him.
LeBron? He hasn't
You
even
can't.
been ever in a dunk
You
contest.
can't blame LeBron. There are multiple other dunkers there. That are specialized for dunking that could do better. I'm talking to you, John Morant. Put the toys, guns away, and come out to play and dunk.
Oh,
Zion Williamson, stop being in DMs and be in the gym. Dunk, jump, do something. You can do it. Both of y'all. I'm looking at you, John Morant, specifically. I need you to save the dunk contest next year because it's supposed to be in Phoenix. I know one of our friends who listens to us at times. She's in Phoenix right now. I don't even think she's probably looking forward to the All-Star game next year because it's going to be terrible.
I heard Chris Paul is doing next year's dunk contest just for you.
He probably do
hey,
better
look,
than the players that they're there right now. He could barely jump. He's old. He retired. He'll come out of retirement for that one day
I
just
heard
to
they was
win the
gonna do a
dunk contest.
I heard they was gonna do a free throw contest just for you.
Oh, they should put Giannis in the free throw contest and have him count 1, 2, 3. Just throw everything at that out there since y'all don't know how to do an All-Star game anymore, or All-Star weekend.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that dunk contest was horrible.
I think it
listen.
was your
So
favorite one in the past 5 years.
Nobody won these past couple of years. The last person that won was what? Zach Levine when
That's
Aaron
last
Gordon
decade.
had that 9.
Oh,
Aaron
Yeah,
Gordon got robbed.
yeah,
Aaron Gordon
that's
got
the
robbed.
last dunk contest I remember of any meaning.
oh man, y'all are
So
funny, boy. He got
so
it with a crash out title now, bro.
I
I'm trying to
got
this man
No,
all star game, bro. I'm too weak. This man got me weak, bro.
bro,
Tell him how you really
dude
feel,
fell on
Drew.
his back. Do you know how embarrassing that is as a dunker to fall on your back, almost have a contusion from an All-Star weekend? You cannot be that ass going up on an All-Star weekend, bro. You're supposed to prepare for this. You're supposed to spend weeks on this. They tell these people months in advance that they're going to be in the dunk contest. No, I have to look this up in real time because there was a tweet where Jace Richardson, yes, I'm calling you your name. There was a tweet they had for the dunk contest. He didn't realize he was going to be in it, bruh. Oh my gosh. he was surprised that he was going to participate in that joint. He was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna be in it." And I'm like, "You can't be that ass and still in it." Um, what where was it? The dunk contest is back. He was like, "A lot of people don't think I'm gonna try." No, no, bro. I guess. Yeah, there it is. He said, "I guess." You guessed wrong. You guessed you fell on your ass in that dunk contest. You got a lob. That dude got a lob and still fell on his back. Oh my goodness. I thought the snakes sound when he lost a life in Metal Gear Solid was gonna come out of nowhere because it was that bad. I'm sorry. I you almost made had a conniption thinking about that dunk contest, bro. I used to look forward to watching the NBA All Star Weekend because it was the best of the best dunkers, the best 3-point shooters that are actually playing in the game in the season, not just coming off the out of the chair. Like,
So are you telling me that you're not gonna rewatch the dunk contest?
oh no, I'm gonna watch it, but they're still
No,
gonna make
no.
me mad.
This one that just happened. You're gonna rewatch it, right? On a loop.
No, I'm not gonna rewatch it. Why would I traumatize myself with that? Like, I I don't know. I mean, I hope somebody of substance gets in the dunk contest next year. Like I said again, I hope somebody who actually played in this season goes in the 3-point contest next year. Steph Curry says he's going to be in the thing. I don't need another one of these armchair players winning games and winning things. You got G League players winning dunk contests. That
Hey,
shows
look.
how bad it was. Mac McClung, last year's dunk winner, had 4 dunks on his Instagram that were better than every dunk that you saw. And he just said, "Nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna win this 4 years in a row." I would have rather had that. I would have rather had Dunkin' Donuts than the dunks that were in the dunk contest. Let
Listen,
me not. Let's
I
not
have
even do it.
I have the breaking news of the first 2 entries of the dunk contest next year. You have Dame Lillard.
You said a dunk contest. I'm
Yeah, and dunk.
yeah, yeah. It was nice knowing y'all. It was nice knowing y'all. It was nice. I'm out, bro. I'm out, bro. Don't do this to me, dog. I
Hey,
actually like basketball. That's why I'm mad. I like watching basketball, and they piss me off every single time with this. This is supposed to be the one time where y'all actually let your hair down and play and ball out, but they don't even want to do that. They just treat this as like Hawaii or Cancun. That's the Cowboys' job. They got Cancun. Y'all got the actual NBA All Star game. Do something better, yo.
oh
Uh,
my
I
goodness.
can't even go anywhere because I'm just stuck in this chair. I'm mad, yo. That that dunk contest really pissed me off, yo.
We can move on. We ain't even got to go no further. I just wanted to make sure I got my 2 minutes of fame in before Jordan took the segment over. So we pretty much got the answers to the question, which was, how did you view the state of the All-Star weekend? And well, we just gonna move on from there.
Yeah,
Uh,
Victor Wembanyama saved that All Star weekend because boy, if they didn't play, oh man,
Oh my
they would have
goodness.
been booed out of what's that stadium called?
Oh,
Into it. They weren't into it.
oh my
oh God,
goodness.
that was too funny, bro.
Oh. I have,
I don't know how.
I have actual tears. You
Ooh,
gotta just end the podcast on that one. My man got it with his crowd today, bro. That's
bro,
oh.
that crowd is his, man.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
Clipper
mine
Stadium.
was bad.
The Clipper Stadium is called Intuit Dome. They were not into it this weekend. They need to get out of it. Steve
Oh,
Ballmer wasted their money, spent a whole bunch of money on a light bill for what? Just for James Richards to fall on his back? Like,
Oh man.
impending lawsuit acquired. Either
Oh.
yes,
way,
there's a leak, man. There's a leak on the floor.
Oh.
that was too funny.
Oh my
All right, we
Oh.
have one more topic to discuss,
Oh.
and that is the UFC and boxing matches coming up. Well, fight fans, buckle up. The next few months in combat sports are stacked with some potentially historic moments, some superstar returns, wild matchups, and narrative storylines that could dominate sports media. Let's break it down. Let's see if we can get some hot takes out of here. Number one, UFC 326. Of course, 324 and 325 kicked the year off very strong, but the schedule is not letting up. With 326, we have Holloway versus Oliveira 2. It's a rematch for the coveted BMF title. Of course, with them headlining it, and you also have some other cards, including Renato Moicano versus Brian Ortega, Rob Font versus Rosas Jr. Uh, so this card definitely has fight of the year potential. You also have in boxing, who is trying to steal some headlines from the UFC, has Tyson Fury versus, oh God, Makhmudov. That's going to be April the 11th, 2026. That's been confirmed. Tyson is trying to come back after some heavy back-to-back losses. So it definitely puts him, he has a couple of things that helped him put him back in the heavyweight conversations. It's going to be the first major heavyweight bout of the spring and could set the tone for the heavyweight division. You have Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder, April 4th. There's going to be another heavyweight clash earlier on in London. Wilder's power versus Chisora's grit. We're going to see what happens. It's expected to be a lot of fireworks. Also, looks like I don't know about that one. They're teasing a Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather fight for the 25th of this year.
That's what I've been told that's going to actually happen. It's an exhibition match. It's not going to count towards anybody's record.
Yeah, so you have an exhibition match. Two of the greatest all-timers going at it. We're going to see what happens.
Floyd, cover your ears. Sorry, I had to do that. But cover your ears, Floyd.
Oh, for Floyd. All right. And then we also have some former UFC vets jumping into MMA via the George Masvidal tournaments. And then last but not least, we have Ronda Rousey coming back versus Gina Carano. May 16th is going to be on Netflix. It's going to be a crossover fight that's going to try to spark some debates about legitimacy versus entertainment value. So let's open it up for the fellas. What do you think about the cards that could be set for the next couple of months? Do we have something legit going on? Is it going? What are you looking forward to? What do you think? Man, I don't know if I want to see it. What's up?
I think most of those cards are trash, to be honest. Rousey Serrano is interesting, but if it's in a UFC fight, Serrano's going to get destroyed. She's going to get submitted in the first round. I don't think it's going to be worth watching. The only one that was probably interesting to me was probably the BMF fight, and that's not really even that interesting to me because Holloway versus Oliveira. 5 years ago, that would have been a fantastic fight. Right now, both of them just kind of clinging on for the sake of fame. I don't think that either one of them are relevant in the UFC arena right now. The fight that I want to see is actually Devin Haney versus old buddy from Virginia. Forgot his name. I think it's Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davies.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only fight I probably want to see right now.
Wasn't that rescheduled because there was some type of issue last year?
Yeah, and then now he's calling him out again, and that's what's going on right now. That's the hype right now.
Hopefully, the Davis family's learned their lesson and just keeps it professional and just let
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the only interesting fight right now. I think that Chisora versus Wilder is just for fans. That's like, of course, fans want to see that, but Wilder is a shell of himself after those wars that he had with Tyson Fury. I don't really care too much about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury should stay retired. Usyk is going to be the champion. They're going to stay the champion. Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather. It literally sounds like the dumbest fight I could ever hear in my entire life. Um, the weight difference is over 100 pounds, and on top of that, it's for exhibition. So, which means we get to watch Floyd Mayweather run around the ring in a sparring match that doesn't count towards any record. So all he has to do is just run around the ring. That is a waste of time for everybody's time. I would never pay money to watch any of these fights. UFC is definitely more interesting. Um, but the UFC matchups that I want to see, Patty just lost, I think last week or a week before. I thought that was a pretty interesting fight, and that was going to be an interesting one. But most of these fights are not doing anything for me, to be honest with you. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, so with the UFC, I think like you said, that Holloway Olivier match, I think although they're a bit older, it might be more interesting because I've taken a look at some featherweight matches over time, and they're lighter in the body, but they focus more on technique and speed, and I dare say striking ability. Like if you can strike fast and in a hurry, you'll get your opponent down. And I think between those two, whoever lost will get they're gonna try to get their lick back. So I believe that that'll be a match to look forward to. As far as the Davis, like I said before, there was a match that they had last year, but I think it had gotten postponed or canceled because there was some logistics issues or there was some type of fight that was going to potentially have start. But it was in the crib, it was hometown. So I'm thinking to myself, hopefully the Davis family will do better and just keep everything PG, keep everything clean, and they should easily mop the floor. As far as that Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson match, there I think 3 inches difference in height, at least let's say 60 to 70 pounds difference in weight. Definitely difference in speed. I mean, all Floyd has to do is just run around and tire Mike Tyson out. They're not gonna really hit any punches. They might do it. It's gonna be a money grab. Um, it's gonna be like if Tyson and Holyfield were in round 50. It's gonna be a bit boring, but for nostalgia purposes, it's gonna look good. But I think the featherweight matches are gonna be where it's at in terms of just excitement, and we go from there.
All right. Well, I don't really know. I think, like I said, I do agree with you that Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather is going to be a money grab thing. Y'all, we already know how I almost call that man Flavor Flav. Y'all know how Floyd Mayweather operates. He operates based off money. He's not operating based off fights. Um, he's just going to get the biggest cash grab he can. And an aging Mike Tyson is not the way to go. It's not the way to go, ladies and gents. The same thing with Tyson Fury. He should have just stayed retired. Like you have back to back losses, and you think you're gonna try to make a serious comeback. I don't believe in it. I
You
really
know what?
don't.
I know it'll be more entertaining than that damn dunk contest. It'll be more entertaining than that. Like I'm sorry. Like I'll watch them and I'll probably get more excitement out of that than watching that damn dunk contest again for sure. Nobody's back will be broken from that. So yeah, I'm sorry. That's still in my mind. I ain't mean to bring up old stuff.
Oh my goodness. Listen, we gonna pray for you, Jordan. We gonna pray for you. Hopefully you get
Pray for his
what you
back. Don't
want
pray
next
for me. Pray for
year.
his back, not me.
Hey, ain't nothing we can do on that because apparently he was allergic to dunking correctly, and that's the result he got. Like you knew the risk,
He got
and
the
you still
same
decided to
allergy
do
as
it.
AD.
Because AD would have met that allergy to wood. He would have found out that day. Either way, we're gonna move on really quickly. I did forget to make mention of this earlier. Today, I wanted to take a moment to talk about a true giant of civil rights and social justice. Unfortunately, earlier this morning, we heard the news. We lost a giant in the civil rights activist, Reverend Jesse Jackson. From the 1960s and onwards, Reverend Jesse Jackson was on the front lines, working extremely close with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., marching for equality and organizing communities to demand change. In 1971, he founded Operation Push, which means People United to Save Humanity, focused on economic empowerment and creating opportunities for African Americans. More than a decade later, in 1984, he co-founded the Rainbow Coalition, a groundbreaking effort to unite communities of color and amplify their political voice. Jackson just didn't stay behind the scenes. He made history in 1984 and 1988 by running for the Democratic presidential nomination. And this is very much key to help opening the doors to a lot of presidential nominations, including, of course, Barack Obama's 2008 successful presidential nomination and his re-election in 2012. Beyond politics, Jackson has been a global advocate, negotiating the release of hostages, promoting human rights around the world, and championing corporate responsibilities and affirmative actions at home. His work leaves a lasting legacy, shaping civil rights, empowering communities, and inspiring generations of activists and leaders. So today, we honor not only the history in Black history, we're talking about impact, persistence, and the power of using your voice to change the world. Thank you, Reverend Jesse Jackson. All right, and that's our whistle. That's our whistle for the day, but the game never really ends. Thank you for spending time with us today, sharing opinions, passion, and a love for sports that goes beyond the scoreboard. As always, if you like what you heard, hit that like button, that share button, subscribe, tell a friend, follow, and join the next conversation. Until then, stay competitive, stay curious, and keep loving the game. This is Squad Sportcast.